Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Let's continue with Master YongHua's Chanchi instructions. Go ahead.
大自在天啊，更自在，不要生气。
the heaven of the great self-mastery, Mahasvara. Even more at ease. Do not ascend to heaven.
Yeah, so the teaching here is when you practice this transcendental Dharma of ours, do not go small. Think higher than just ascending to the heavens. To be careful of setting the proper goals. Again, big picture. Don't. You should aim for much higher goals, are more worthy of you. Continue.
我再给你们说一个比喻，好像这个乡下的一个乡长。
I'm not slandering God. Let me give you another analogy. It's like a village chief in the countryside.
这个乡长呢，他不想知道啊，在他上边又有市长，又有省长，又有这个总统。
This village chief doesn't want to know that above him. There is a mayor, a governor, and even a president.
他不想知道，他就说啊，我是最大的。
He doesn't want to know and simply says, "Oh, I am the greatest."
在他这一个乡里不错，他是最大的，但是这个乡外边又有一个城市。
In this village, it's true, he is the greatest. But outside of this village, there is a city.
城市又有一个省，省里头又有个全国。
The city has a province, and within the province, there is an entire nation.
他虽然说是他最大，就是在这一个小范围内，所以他说他是最大的。
Even though he claims to be the greatest, it is only within his small scope, so he says he is the greatest.
要到那个大的地方，你就又变成小了，因为
When he is in the greater place, he becomes small.
Okay, so you can look at it that way from his perspective. He says that God's claims are true only in a smaller domain, but when you look at the bigger picture, God is not great. It's besides the point. I feel personally, whatever they do or whatever your teachers tell you, I respect that. It's your teacher's choice. It's not up to us to criticize them. Okay, if God wants to say He's the greatest, He's welcome to do that. And the thing is not about Him. The thing is about you. Do you believe what you heard? Do you believe what you told? That's the main thing. It's not about God claiming He's number one. Okay? And if you happen to believe it, nothing wrong with it. Go with it. Live with it. Okay? Until it no longer works for you, then you change your mind. That's all. To me, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant whether God is right or wrong. Okay, no one asked us. Okay, the Catholics didn't come and ask us. So, to me, this can be easily misunderstood when we talk like this. Okay, especially in a country, if you talk like this in Asia, yeah, maybe you can get away with it. Here, we are predominantly Catholic and Christian. So we're provoking people unnecessarily. So I would not talk like this at all. I would simply say, as I said, it's up to you. If you feel that it works for you, by all means, believe in God, support God, and make offerings to God and so forth. I have nothing against it, okay? Or whatever works for you, I'm glad for you and for God, okay? But it's just life. People will believe it until it no longer works for them. It doesn't matter if they are Catholic or Buddhist or something, it's the same thing. They believe us, you Buddhist disciples believe us until it no longer works, right? I keep on hearing my people telling me that the disciples are complaining and they're unhappy about us, about certain sanghas, and they lost faith in Buddhism because of these particular sanghas. I said, that's life. We're not perfect. None of us is perfect. We are still working at it. And I'm sorry it is not working out for you. And I hope it works better for you anywhere else. And if you want to hang on to it, then you learn how to become, you get a lot more out of it. Part of the process. It's all part of your growing up, okay? The good things and the bad things come together in all relationships, right? So, it's no point in criticizing others, teachers. It sounds like we are jealous or something. Okay. Next.
因为什么变成小？因为他是教的是大，他教的他是大，他就没有到那个最大的地方。
Why does he become small? Because he thinks he is great. He believes he is great, so he hasn't reached the greatest place.
And I have to remind you, we have to be careful not to comment on others, because first of all, we sound arrogant, okay? Let's face it, even Master YongHua, no matter how powerful, how strong he was and he is, there are a lot of people who really feel offended by this kind of talk. So it doesn't help them at all, okay? Absolutely useless to them. And this is actually offensive to them. So, and so don't take this in the wrong context. And this is for him, Master YongHua, explaining to his disciples. You have to understand that Master YongHua is not jealous or doesn't feel insecure or envious of God's popularity and wealth at all. Not at all. But this is you have to understand this in a context of the fact that he was teaching his followers, his newly acquired followers. So but it's, I don't believe he's saying this out of spite or jealousy at all. He's simply explaining to this small group of followers that he had back then, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, continue.
南无
我们不要种这个升天的因，切记不要做天主，做天主太麻烦了，因为这个天主太大，完了贡高我慢的，在那个地方竟有一个我，大自在天啊。
Why does the largest place have to proclaim its own greatness?
No, I think the backtrack. I think 8. Go ahead.
Master, not directly related this question, but I was just curious, people living in heaven, heavenly beings, I know they do cultivate, but despite that, a lot of people say how great the heavens are. Don't they have suffering? Because how can you be so happy that your friends, they die and they fall?
It's a different kind of lifestyle. Here in our Saha world, in the human realm, we have a mix of suffering and pleasure, especially in this day and age, more suffering than pleasure. Okay? Whereas in the heavens, consistently in the heavens, there's always pleasure, central pleasures, lots of pleasure, especially in the desire heavens. And they only know pleasures because of the heavenly blessings. And that's a concept. If you have blessings, you will not suffer, whether you're here or upstairs. Okay? And so, relative to us, the heavenly beings know no suffering at all. They only have pleasure because of the nature of the heavenly blessings. They can have fancy clothing as they wish, fancy food, 3-star Michelin food, or even better if they wish, best symphonies in the world, and so forth. And so they have boundless blessings, heavenly blessings. That's why they chose to go up there to enjoy themselves. So such is the nature of the heavenly existence. However, towards the end of the existence, they will experience suffering. Okay? So there's suffering in all existences. However, for heavenly beings, the existence is only towards the end. Okay? They become real afflicted and extremely painful to them, because you can imagine their entire lives, they're so happy. They only know pleasure. So a little bit of displeasure, a little bit of things are not the way they want, they expect it to be, they are extremely afflicted. So the suffering comes towards the end of their lives. And because of that, they become very afflicted and they tend to fall because they're not used to suffering, not getting their ways. Okay? Yeah, continue.
So I'm sure there's some kind of relationship between heavenly beings. They could find a friendship or like that. And let's say your friend is very afflicted and they're suffering. They're toward the end of their lifetime in heaven. Wouldn't that afflict his friends like other heavenly beings?
Not really, because they're not afflicted by it at all. It's the personal suffering that they experience when they're about to die. Okay, but they are not affected by, that much from things that happen around them at all, because they're shielded from such afflictions. It's a nature, heavenly blessing, it's pleasure. They go up there because you want to experience pleasure. These people thirst for pleasure, and that's why they resolve to go up there. Okay? You have far more blessings. That's why Master YongHua reminded you that be careful that with your blessings, you can easily be reborn to the heavens, and then it's futile because you basically will be wasting your blessings. That's all. Okay? They're not put to good use. Okay? And so, no, they are shielded from all sufferings. Okay? Next.
最大的地方为什么要自己说大呢？没有大，没有小，所以佛是无大无小，没有比佛再大的，也没有比佛再小的。
There is neither great nor small, so the Buddha is neither great nor small. There is nothing greater than the Buddha, nor is there anything smaller than the Buddha.
也没有比佛再富的，也没有比佛再穷的。
There is nothing richer than the Buddha, nor is there anything poorer than the Buddha.
Okay, so you see, Master YongHua, what he's saying is the truth. It's nothing bigger, nothing better, nothing more important than the Buddha. Here in this slide here, 240, something that maybe that's easier for you to understand. No one is richer than the Buddha, and no one is also poorer than the Buddha either. Why is that? It is clearly the Buddha has so many blessings. He's so rich. He's born in himself into a royal family and so forth. And so not only is he rich, but he's also super, super rich. Okay? Hyper rich. Right? But how about poor? Why is he poorer than anyone else? Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. My worldly takeaway from this is I'm kind of familiar with the concept of affluenza, where people with a lot of in a socioeconomic class can no longer connect or kind of have like a obliviousness to the realities of people in a lower socioeconomic class. And also I've experienced personally not being able to, or being concerned about speaking properly or acting correctly, like at a country club or at a really high-end ritzy restaurant growing up. Mm-hmm. So to me, this means the Buddha can connect and speak with everyone, whether you're rich or poor. The Buddha is able to speak with you at ease and have no obstructions.
Okay, all right, and that's one way to explain it. Yes, 8.
I want to look at it at a different angle. Here, it's a comparison, rich or poor. So with the Buddha, there's no such a comparison if someone is richer or poorer than him.
All right, anyone else? Is it real? Is it this riches and the poor, poverty, is it real? Okay. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. Yes, poverty is real, but the most impoverished, starving human can still be of Buddha nature.
Okay. So how can Buddha be poorer than the poorest person on earth? TTT.
Master, I guess because the Buddha thinks that his blessing doesn't belong to him. So he said no possession, so it is his poorest.
If his blessings don't belong to him, then you cannot qualify it as his. You should be calling it Vicky's blessings. Or if Jumi says, it's my husband's blessings. That's what she's about to say, I guess. Yeah?
부처님께서 가장 부유하기도 하고 가장 가난하기도 했다는 이유가 제 생각에는 부처님은 상대성을 떠난 분이시기 때문에 가장 부유하기도 하고 가장 가난한 분이라고 말씀드릴 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Buddha says nothing richer than him or nothing poorer than Buddha because he's out of relativity. That's why.
Is what?
Out of relativity.
Out of duality, not relativity.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, really. Relativity belongs to Einstein.
Yeah, that's right.
Duality belongs to Buddha. Okay, got that? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. We have some comments here. Samson says, "Hi, Master. Is it because the Buddha has realized no worldly desires, so chooses to live with only enough to survive?"
Then how can you call him richer? Richer is for real, folks. We Buddhists don't beat around the bush. They say, I'm richer than you, meaning I have more money than you. Okay? That's how you can call yourself richer. Poor because I don't have as much money as you do. Okay?
Right.
That's English. It's not subject to interpretations. It's absolute. I'm richer because I have more. Next.
We also have from Diego, Buddha doesn't discriminate between rich and poor. He doesn't get afflicted by rich or poor, neither by suffering or pleasure. He remains still and at ease. Emitofuo, Master.
You guys are so cerebral. When I say richer, it has to mean that you have $1 billion. I'm richer than you. It means I have more than $1 billion. Okay? That's English. You cannot say more unless you have more. You cannot say less unless you have less. Yeah, let's continue with 8.
Thank you. And the last one for now is Chun. She says, Buddha sees everything as empty and does not hoard anything as his own, so he is poorer than everyone.
But what about richer? She only sees poorer. I see Buddha so rich. Okay, 9.
Thank you, Master. Based on your statement, is it possible that at any given moment, the Buddha has countless incomprehensible blessings, making him richer than anyone, but also has given them away, making him poorer than anyone? So his bank account is constantly plus or minus.
You guys are so caught on deluding yourself with words. Jeez. Isn't it funny that this is so typical? The Master YongHua made a statement like this and no one objected. No one asked, how can he be both richer and poorer than me? Richer than me, I can see that. Poorer than me, how is it possible? Yes, 8.
And also, oh my gosh, we have more. They keep coming in, Master. Lio agrees with, what's that guy's name over there? Peter.
Peter, okay. That guy's name, she said so? That guy's.
That guy.
That guy.
Lio agrees with Peter. He's the poorest because he's constantly giving away. And Venerable Shen Miao says, because he is the king of beggars.
The king beggars? If you're a king, how can you be the poorest? Meaning that you have beggars who are poorer than you. Yes, DTT. They're going to laugh at us if you keep on talking in circles. You know, he says, oh, conceptually, he's richer. Conceptually, he's poorer. My gosh. Go ahead, DTT.
네, 마스터.
저는 다른 관점으로 답변을 하면 부처님은 탁발을 하시는 그런 관습을 가지고 계시기 때문에 가장 가난하다고 또 표현하시지 않으셨을까 싶습니다.
So I want to answer in a different perspective. Because Buddha, he begs for food, so I think that's why he's more poor than any other people.
Okay, so he's poor. He begs for food. He gets food, right? Would you give food to the Buddha? Yes. Okay, she would give food to the Buddha, you can assume from her smile, which makes him richer than me. As soon as he accepts something, and Buddhas, when they go begging, they always get something. Okay? How can they be poorer than me? Yeah? Anyone else? How can they be poorer than anyone who's not a Buddha? Hello? Isn't it amazing that Master YongHua got away with this making statements like this? And no one, oh, the Master said it, therefore it must be true. First of all, no one is richer than the Buddha. Is that true? Yeah? Why?
Because he is everything. Universe, everything. He got it all, isn't it?
Okay? Yeah? Okay. This higher world, whose is it? It's Shakyamuni Buddha's world. He created this world. So anything that is in this world is his creation. Yeah? All the gold, all the mineral ores, all the timber, all the water. Pretty soon water becomes a scarce commodity in our world. It becomes even more valuable, more than gold itself. You just wait and see, okay? At the rate we keep on polluting our water, it's going to become extremely, extremely valuable, okay? And so you see, if you can say that, you know, have the number one, the richest men in the world, according to Forbes list and so forth, they're nothing compared to the Buddhas because he owns his entire world. Okay? Doesn't matter how many stocks options you have in that company. The Buddha, you know, he owns all the mineral resources, all the volcanoes, all the oceans, all the waters. Yeah? Name anyone else who can own it. No one. He owns it. He's the owner. So therefore, he's the richest dude of us all. Like it or not. When you move to Western Bliss Pure Land, who's the richest dude over there? Amitabha Buddha. Come on, he owns it. He cannot say that you'll be richer. Amitabha in his world. Okay? That's a fact. Yeah? Okay, let's just take one side of the equation. What about the other side? He's the poorest of them all. How do you explain that? Yes, A.
We have a comment from Venerable Xian Shou. So he must have arrived wherever he is. Venerable Xian Shou says, richer in blessings and poorer in afflictions.
Again, save me, spare me the philosophical attitude. I'm looking for concrete things, folks. Yeah? Why is he so poor? Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. I'm going to go out on a concrete limb here and say that he's not.
He's not poorer than anyone.
No.
And Master Sheo, you call my teacher a liar?
Well, since I've been put in these concrete situations already, I'm not saying that he's a liar, and I don't want to delude myself with words, respectfully. I'm just going to say that that's what Great Master YongHua said at the time, and that's what was needed for that audience. But for our audience, for me, I don't need to know that the Buddha is poorer, and I don't think that he is.
Why do you think that Master YongHua said the Buddha is the poorest guy on earth?
Because there were some poor hippies in that room.
Okay. Yes, 8. What makes him so poor?
Because although he's the richest because he created this world, but he doesn't want to own anything. He's sharing with everyone, with the living beings.
How can he not want to own anything if he calls his world Sao world? It's my world.
I don't think he will say my because he doesn't have any ego.
Okay, DTT.
약간 세라님하고 비슷한데 비유해서 설명하면 회사의 창업주인데 회사 관련된 주식이라든지 회사 관련된 사유재산을 소유하지 않기 때문에 창업주의라서 부유하지만 소유한 재산이 없기 때문에 가장 가난하다고 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
So my opinion is similar to Sarah, but as a metaphor, like you say it's your company and you own the company, but it's not related to your property. Is not related to yourself. You're founder of the company, but you don't own the property of the companies.
So it's a theory of relativity now? Yes, 8.
Oh my gosh, they just keep coming in, Master. Empty Mirror says he's poor because everything he has he gives away. And Plato says because he is so rich.
Okay, DTT. Why is he so poor?
그는 모든 것을 내려놓고 다 버렸기 때문에 가난하다고 생각합니다.
You better believe it. He knows, he feels he's poorer than you.
Because he let go of everything.
He let go of everything. Okay? Then why is it called Saha world? Yeah? He says, come to my world, I will save you. Yeah? Yeah, 8, go ahead.
You really lit a fire under people, Master. Ray Zhuang says he is frugal to himself like a poor person and never takes advantage of it for himself.
So he's poor to himself. He's very frugal, like Ray. Okay? He lives like a monk. Okay? Okay? But still, how can he be poor? He still owns things. He cannot be the poorest person on earth. No one dare challenge Master YongHua. See? Everyone says, oh, Master said so, it must be true. So what's the truth behind this? Yeah? Does anyone feel poor at all? Not Xian Tong. Xian says, I don't feel poor. You're a beggar, but she's a beggar, but she doesn't feel poor. Okay? Anyone else doesn't feel poor? Xian Wen, do you feel poor? He says, why do you have to ask me, he says. Can't you see I'm busy working? A and B. Yeah? Do you feel poor?
I'm poor, but Master support me.
So he says, I'm poor, but that's why Master supports me. All right. Are you the poorest? None. You don't get away with that easily. Huh?
No, I have many things.
You have many things, so you're not the poorest.
No.
So you are richer than Shakyamuni Buddha.
No.
No, she's not. Anyone claims they are the poorest. Let me ask the old abbot there in Korea, in K-land. Does he feel poor? Does he feel he's the poorest monk at all?
A Di Đà Phật. Cái thân của mình á, thiếu nước thì mình chăm nước vô, thiếu chất gạo thì mình bỏ gạo vô, cho nó đầy thôi. Như chiếc xe chăm cái thiếu cái gì chăm cái đó. Thì giàu với nghèo làm cái gì, chữa cái làm cái gì. Thành ra vấn đề ở đây con không có thấy là giàu hay nghèo. Mà thật sự nếu mà Đức Phật muốn giàu thì cũng giàu được thôi. Mà cái người tu á, đâu có cần cái gì đâu, cần đói thì xin ta cho cái gì ăn, cái đó không có thì thôi. Giống như cái mấy điều tâm niệm của mình đó, đói chết không sinh, nghèo không sinh. Thì Đức Phật cũng vậy thôi.
Okay.
Emitofuo, Master, just like our body, if we lack of water, we just put more water in. If we lack of rice, we just put more rice in. So about the concept of rich and poor, I don't feel like we have to see it as rich and poor, but reality is if the Buddha wants to be rich, he can be the richest. As a cultivator, even as a beggar, we starving to death, we do not beg. So I feel like that's how the Buddha is the same as us in that way.
Okay. Yes, and the internet people, they still chiming in. Yeah.
We have one from Sauces.
Okay.
It says, the Buddha is the most of everything. So in any quality, he cannot be surpassed.
So therefore he must be the poorest as well? That's what the rationale is.
I guess that is the rationale, Master.
Okay, all right. DTT.
Master, I think he has everything, but he doesn't attach to anything, so that's why he's the poorest.
He has everything, doesn't attach to everything, that's why he's the poorest. Okay, yes, Martina. Now Martina is jumping into the game.
Well, I can only think that he doesn't need much, even though he has everything,
Doesn't need much. Doesn't need much doesn't mean he's the poorest.
He has everything, but he doesn't need much.
Yeah. All right, next. Anyone else? Yes, in the back.
Master, is we talking about possessions in money? In this case, he say just rich and poor, but he doesn't specify about the valuable things.
Okay, listen. You guys have to stop using theories. Okay, let me tell you. When you talk about rich, okay, meaning that if you feel you're richer than the poor, than the Buddha, Buddha says, no, you're not. I have more than you. Is that clear? We all agree on that point. Yeah? So that's why he's the richest. He owns this. He owns this. Oh, everything here. Okay, everything here was created by him, came about because of him. Okay, so he owns this. Okay, what about how come he's poorer than Jumi? Jumi has an XM3. I just said he owns everything. If Jumi says I have an XM3, Buddha says I have gold. Okay, and then so how can he be poorer than you, than Jumi? Jumi says, let me give it to Master YongHua, my XM3. Okay, now I will take it just to make a point. Okay, so now Jumi has nothing, right? Is she the poorest? No, she still has her husband, who's now in New York making money for her. So you see? So when you talk about richer, you have concrete things. Poorer, you have to prove that he is really poorer than you. Okay? He's poorer than you because you ask him. He says, you world-honored one, what do you have? He says, I have nothing. When you said rich, because you can count. Poor is the same thing. You say, I'm so poor, okay? At least you have, I don't know, your clothes, yeah? Your house, your cars. But Buddha says, I have nothing because in his mind, it's nothing at all. He's called true emptiness. True emptiness meaning that unlike us, okay, we still have something, don't we? Yeah? You ask Diego, for example, he has his wife, he has his daughter. That's real to him. Yeah? You asked Xian Tong, she has her retirement money. Okay? Okay? You cannot say it's empty. But Buddha, you ask Buddha, it's totally empty. All the gold mines, the ores, the copper, and the lithium, which is priceless nowadays, and so forth. It's all zero to him. You cannot count in any way. It's only you feel rich because you can count them, right? You're poor because you still can count them. Buddha is so poor because it's nothing in his mind at all. He's not attached to anything. He said, but you have the Saha world. The Buddha said, no, I don't. Actually, would you like to have it? See? I don't see it's mine. If you want it, you can have it. You become Buddha. How about that? We call it, rename it after you. You see that? In his mind, he owns nothing whatsoever. Whereas in our minds, we do have things, don't we? Yeah? Jumi is the husband. She owns her husband. And XM3. XM3, yeah. All right? You see that? My point being that in your mind, when your mind is not empty, you are richer than the Buddha. Because in the Buddha's mind, he has nothing whatsoever. That's why he's the poorest. Is he poorer than Master YongHua? You bet. You might ask Master YongHua, he says, I have nothing. When I die, I left all these temples to these losers, these people. Sorry. Okay? And I have nothing. It's true, right? So is he poorer than the Buddha? Is he poorer? No, he's not. He's not, because in his mind, Master Hsuan mind is still not entirely empty yet. Yeah? What is still not empty in Master Hsuan's mind?
Living beings.
Living beings, absolutely. He says, I need to save living beings. I need to continue my job or influence my disciples so that they will continue on my behalf, save living beings. Do Buddhas have the same attachment? No. He says, hey, it's a Hsuan's job. I'm done. I don't need to save. Master Hsuan is so keen. He said, I need to save. I need to spread Buddhism to America. I need Buddhism to Europe, to back to Asia and so forth, because I need to. It's my job. When he died, he still sees that. And before his last breath, he said, oh, my job is not done. I'm going to have people continue my job. In his mind, it's still not empty. Yeah? So he's still richer than the Buddha. The Buddha says, I have nothing, absolutely nothing. No attachments. That's true emptiness. That's why he's the poorest. He has nothing at all. He does. You compare to him. At least he says, at least you have your family. At least you have your money. At least you have your admiration, your fans, and so forth. I have nothing. That I'm not willing to let go. Therefore, I have zero. Okay? When you say poor, you really have to mean it. Poor meaning that you're not attached to it. Its value to you is zero. And my point here is that he's the poorest because no one, zero, is as big as his. Is that clear? His zero is so big. Master Hsuan zero is still still smaller than him. Yes, DTT.
질문이 있는데요. 한 달 전인가 그 예전에 마스터께서 2016년도에 하셨던 금강경에 보살의 집착이 중생을 도와야 된다라는 집착이 있다고 하셨는데 지금 말씀하셨던 그 부분이 보살이 내려놔야 되는 도와야 된다는 집착을 말씀하시는 건지, 그러니까 보살이 갖고 주고 있는 도와줘야 된다라는 걸 내려놔야 된다는 뜻으로 말씀하신 건지를 질문드립니다.
In your 2016 Vajrasutra lecture, you mentioned about attachment of bodhisattvas, of helping living beings. Does that mean that bodhisattvas has to let go of those attachments, that you have to save living beings?
Eventually, yeah. Very much like you right now. You have to start first to say, I want to become enlightened. Okay, you set a goal. I want to become enlightened. I want to improve. Okay, and that's what drives you. That's what motivates you to cultivate and do these things. Okay, that's why you're here, to cultivate, to learn, right? But when you get close, you have to let go of that attachment. In order to become enlightened, in order to become a Buddha. Bodhisattva, like Master Hsuan, they also have this attachment that they want to become Buddhas. And that's what drives them. They're a lot closer to Buddhahood than we are. Let's face it. Okay? But when they get there, when they get close, when they are about to become Buddhas, they say, there's no more Buddhas. I'm no longer interested in becoming Buddhas. That's how they become Buddhas. They have to be totally empty. And it's not conceptual. It really is a case where they really have no attachments anymore. Okay? How is it possible? Because they have so much they are attached to nothing. The coolest thing is that when you have so much, then you're no longer attached to anything. Okay? Yeah. So that's a process. There is a method behind this. You cannot simply say, I can be a Buddha, I can drop everything. No, you have to actually are able to do it for it to count. It's not just simply use your intellect to say conceptually, if you ask me to give, I will give. Okay? No. Then I said, can you give me your daughter? He said, except for that. Can you give me your wife? Maybe not. Ask for something else. Can you give me? Okay? He asked the Buddha, he says, you want my wife? Please take my wife. You want my children? Please take my children. Remember those anecdotes in his life stories? He started doing that already. Okay? So he was from being a crown prince reduced to 0 because he kept on, if anybody wanted anything that he had, he said, take it. So do you think he was poor or he was rich? He says, I'm poorest guy on earth. What you see there, it doesn't belong to me. You're free to take it. That's definition of poorest. Okay? He has nothing. He attached to nothing whatsoever. And that's why he's also the richest dude, because he has everything. That's why he can let go. All right? Next.
也没有比佛在总而言之没有再超过。
Nor is there anything else beyond comparison. In short, there is nothing surpassing.
大无外，没有这以外，小以内。所以佛虽然是在最尊最贵。
Great, but without exterior. There is no exterior. And small, but without interior. Therefore, although the Buddha is such, the most honorable, the most precious.
Actually, it should be translated as great, so great that there's nothing outside of it. So small that there's nothing inside of it. That's the meaning in Chinese. All right? So great, so big that it contains everything. So he says, there's nothing that's not contained in it. There's nothing outside of it. So small that you cannot find anything smaller inside of it. Therefore, there's nothing inside of it. All right? Continue.
但是他自己和众生是平等，他和众生是一样的。
He is indeed the most valuable, yet equal to all living beings. He is just like all living beings.
你和我是一样的，不过你没有成佛，你要成佛和我一样。
Just like you and I are the same, only that you have not attained Buddhahood. If you attain Buddhahood, you will be the same as me.
那个天理只有一个，只有一个真理，只有一个是独，变成一个孤独的人，这有什么意思
There is only one God. Oh, there is only one true God. If he's the only one, he's solitary. What's the point of becoming a lonely person?
就是孤独的，只有一个，你想，只有一个，你就一个了嘛。
This is lonely. This is only one, only one. There is only one?
我们大家都不管，看你一个怎么样。
We all don't care. How would you fare on your own?
变成没有朋友了，连一个朋友都没有，这叫个什么人？
Being without friends, not even a single friend left. What do you call such a person?
Master YongHua, does he have any friends? I don't think so. Most of the monks didn't like him. He's a threat to them. He knows too much. He's too wise. Makes everyone else look bad. Can you call his disciples his friends? No, they're bloodsuckers. They're leeches. Okay, so isn't he lonely? Very lonely, I'd say. So he and God have a lot in common. Come to think of it. Well, he brought it up. I mean, I don't see him as many friends. Seriously, I see him surrounded by leeches. Huh? So that's what I saw. A bunch of leeches. Yes, 9.
Master, I read that in the small shanty of a temple they first had in downtown San Francisco, he used to sit on the back porch, and there were a couple of very poor people that lived downstairs or down the alley or around the corner from the stairs. And when he sat there and talked with them and just passed the day, nobody could tell that, he was a great master. He was just an average person.
Would you call those poor people his friends?
Maybe in an amicable sort of way, just passing the day.
Would you call them his friends? I'm curious. What do you think? Would you call such people that they truly are his friends? He spend the day, time of the day talking to them and socializing with them. Yes, sir. 9. Are they his friends?
Thank you, Master. With respect, no, I don't think I would call them his.
What do you call them then?
Neighbors.
Okay. Neighbors are not necessarily friends. It's so American. It's so true. Yes, 8. Ask Vicky about her neighbors.
Oh, please. I think just because you're being pleasant to someone doesn't mean that they're your friend.
Yeah.
You're just being pleasant, trying to be nice.
So that they don't call the police when they were doing all those illegal auditions. Yeah? Okay? Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. To me, the person that comes to mind, if I had to imagine who Great Master Shenhua's friend was, would be Great Master Shuyun, based on the stories we learned last Chanshi.
Okay. good, valiant effort. Do you agree, disagree with Paleface? He's bringing up yellow face issues. Would you call Master Xu and his pal? Chinese people, hey, Chinese-speaking people, Asians, yellow-faced people. Would you consider Master Xu Yun to be his friends? 8.
No.
Very emphatic no. Anyone else? You see, how much does he know? How much does Master Xu Yun know about Master YongHua? Not a whole lot. Do they spend time shooting the breeze, having a drink, have a beer together, and say, I'd like you to go to America one of these days? And Master YongHua said, no, I'm Chinese. I don't like, hamburgers. Huh? Do you think they spend time doing that? I don't think so. They ever did that. So they can't possibly be friends, good friends. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. Well, based on how the story went, I think that was the communist Chinese who stopped that friendship from coming to fruition, so to speak. And my takeaway from that story was it was his inability to go back to see Great Master Xu Yun that made him decide to leave China forever and never go back. I've had friends that I've made and then not been able to spend time with due to circumstances. It doesn't mean they're not my friend, but friendships can have durations.
So American. Anyone? Are we stirring up anything on the internet? Not yet? Listen. You don't understand friendships between patriarchs, do you? How would we know? We're not patriarchs. But use your imagination. Suppose 2 patriarchs like Master YongHua and Master Xu Yun. Can they be friends? Friends hang out. Come on, man. What is the matter with you? Can you call someone your friend and you don't hang out and you go have a beer or shoot the breeze and, take a drive or something? Hey, you got to spend time together. Just waste time together, right? That's what friends do. You don't? When was the last time I waste time with someone? Wow, I'm depressed now. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. In no way to disagree with you, only to compliment what you're saying. I think friendship requires people to be on equal footing and have common ground together and have things they can connect with each other about. So only based on your question, who would I imagine was Great Master Shenhua's friend? Great Master Xu Yun is the only person that I could think of that comes to mind.
Absolutely. Another person of similar stature was his predecessor. But they hardly spent time together. He couldn't say to his friends, friends, you're supposed to call them phone, hey, dude, what's happening? Right? I mean, that's the minimum. That's the least you do with your friend. You spend time with your friends. You enjoy time. You enjoy spending time with your friends. That's what friendship is about. Yes, 8.
It's hard to be a friend with your boss.
Yeah, it's hard to, and then plus you'll be judged. You a patriarch and you shoot the breeze with with another patriarch. So you guys have that much time. You see, it's kind of hard to have a friendship in their positions. They have to set, they have to be role models for the followers, not to waste time, be vigorous in the cultivation. And there they go, the boss is just shooting the breeze and over, some tea or Modelo. You see? It comes to the territory. So what is he talking about, saying God has no friends? He has no friends either himself. Next.
所以他说是神。
So he says it's God.
Okay.
佛不是佛，释迦牟尼佛之外，还有千千万万恒河沙数无量无边无边无量那么多的佛。
Not Buddha. Besides Shakyamuni Buddha, there are millions and millions of Buddhas, as numerous as the grains of sand in the Ganges, limitless and boundless members of Buddhas.
Okay, stay in this theme. Are they friends? Can we call them friends? Do they have friends, the Buddhas?
Again, Master, if I'm being put to an answer, I would say, if they're going to have friends, it would be other Buddhas. How much time they have to go and get a modello on whatever world they're owning or not owning at the time aside, I think the friendships will be made with peers.
Okay. Anyone else? Do the Buddhas have friends? Yes, 8.
I don't know about Buddhas having friends with other Buddhas, but we have some comments.
Yeah. Let's hear some comments.
We have some comments, and before I get to the comments, we want to thank our YouTube audience. And if you've been enjoying this very interesting conversation about Buddhas and who has friends and so forth, be our friend. And like and subscribe.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay, now moving on.
This lady doesn't have a lot of friends, clearly.
Someday we'll have friends. Okay, we have Venerable Xian Shou says, did Master Shenhua not consider Cardinal Paul Yu Ping his friend?
No. It's because Cardinal Yubin never thought of Master Shenhua as his friend. It's a competition.
Oh my. And then there is a comment from Empty Mirror. Did Master Shenhua say that he is a Buddha?
He's no Buddha. He never said he's a Buddha. He's no Buddha. DTT. Do Buddhas have friends?
부처님 친구 없을 것 같고요.
Do you have friends? Just kidding. No.
아주 극소수가 있어요. 부처님 친구 없다는 의견인데 멀리서 찾을 것이 아니라 JMT의 베너러블 XC나 DTT의 마스터 G를 보면, 그러니까 다시 할게요, 현보스님. 친구 관계는 어떻게 보면 비슷한 레벨이어야 친구 관계가 되는데 비슷한 레벨이어도 각자의 그런 중생들을 도와야 된다는 일로 바쁘셔서 그렇게 관계가 이렇게 형성이 돼서 이어나가는 건 어려울 것 같아요. 현보스님 한번 끊을게요.
I have very little friends. And also I think Buddha has...
Relatively speaking.
Okay. And when I see Master C and Master Z, I think friends could be friends because they're similar levels. But even though they're similar levels, when they're busy with their businesses like helping other living beings, then it's hard to make relationships.
그러니까 XC께서는 JMT에서 밤낮으로 중생을 돕고 계시고 마스터 G는 DTT에서 밤낮으로 중생을 돕고 계시기 때문에 둘이 어떻게 상의하거나 차를 한잔 마시거나 그렇게 시간을 낭비하지 않을 것 같습니다. 모르겠어요. 저는 못 봤어요.
So because Master XC is in JMT and Master Z is in DTT, and they're helping living beings day and night, So I don't think they can have time to drink tea or discuss something. At least I've never saw them doing that.
So are you saying that they are not friends? No one is spared in this conversation.
뭐 서로 속마음은 모르겠는데 친구처럼 잡담하거나 그런 거는 제가 못 본 것 같아요. 각자 일이 너무 충분히 바쁘다고 생각합니다.
I don't know what they think inside, but I think at least they're too busy, so I never saw them wasting time together.
Okay, let's ask them. Can we ask the... Okay, we ask the young one first. Do you look at Master XC as your friend? See?
The master, no, I don't see him. The master, I always think.
Oh my God. Do you have any friends? Is the obvious question. He has to think. While you're thinking, let me ask Master XC. Master XC, do you look at Master XZ as your friend? And do you have any friends?
Di Đà Phật, con nghĩ thầy chỉ là bạn của con. Và tất cả những sư cô, những cái tăng già của ở đây hoặc là bên Rishi hoặc là bên chùa bên Kali đều là bạn, là tại vì cùng một cái chí hướng là cùng tu và cùng học, cùng tu và cùng độ chúng sanh. Thì đó là bạn rồi. Tại vì mình có lời nguyện trong cõi cực lạc là nguyện sanh Tây Phương tịnh độ trung, bất thối Bồ Tát di bạn lữ. Thì vào đầu thai cõi nào những cái người đó ta cũng cùng mục đích với mình thì là bạn rồi. Đâu phải ngồi uống trà mới là bạn đâu.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't translate wrong. Do not be careful here.
Emitofuo Master, I regard Venerable XZ and all of the Sangha, whether it is as JC or in California, we all have the same aspiration. We all want to cultivate, we all want to study Buddha Dharma and find a way to save living being. There's a verse in the rebirth which said, we vow to reborn in the Western Bliss Pure Land, and we take the non-retreat Bodhisattva as our friend. So whether we are sitting together drinking tea, wherever we go, wherever we reborn, we all be friends with each other that way. Doesn't have to drink tea with each other.
Very good. How about JMT? Comment.
하지만 그럼 제 먼저 얘기해 보세요.
Con xin có cái tiếp theo là thế này. Là thỉnh thoảng ở đây.
So much controversy every single night. Yeah, go ahead.
Có những cái lúc ở đây thuận tiện đó, thì con có thể là mời mấy sư cô ở đây và các vị cư sĩ ở đây cùng chút xíu uống chút xíu cà phê với nhau. Thì những giây phút đó rất là hạnh phúc, cũng như là họ mặc dù cư sĩ nhưng mà cũng như là bạn thôi, tại vì họ cùng mục đích với mình là tới đây để tu học và cùng chịu khổ chịu vui với nhau. Thì ngồi uống trà uống cà phê những vị cư sĩ ở đây và những cái sư cô ở đây rất là vui, giống như hồi xưa mình ngồi uống với người bạn mình ngoài đời vậy thôi. Mà ở đây cao hơn nữa là cùng mục đích tu học, tất cả bỏ hết tới đây tu học và chia sẻ cái đạo pháp và cái ngọt vui của cái sự tu học của mình, thì đó là bạn rồi.
Emitofuo Master, sometime in it is convenient, then I would have coffee with the nun and the lay disciple here at the temple. At this time, this moment are we're very happy, very precious because I feel that we have the same aspiration of cultivation and study Buddha Dharma. And we have happy, we share the suffering together, just like me when I have friends in regular life. However, is one step higher, is that we all here because we want to cultivate. We share our sweetness as well as the bitterness, our experience with cultivation. That itself to me is friendship already.
Okay, DTT.
Master, so return to the question about the Buddha have friends. I don't think Buddha has a friend because they have no ego, no personal relationship. So I don't think they have friends.
They have no friends?
No, Master.
Do you have any friends?
No, Master.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, 9, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, someone speaks. It doesn't matter.
Master, so in Lotus Sutra, he have many true Buddha. The Buddha invited him, and they greeted each other, and then have each other sit on the lotus itself. So these two Buddha, I feel they're friends with each other, and with the living being. In order to save living being, you have to do the same work or the same substance. So you have to be there with living beings, and maybe trying to be their friend, understand them, share whatever, just like the old monk says, to do the thing that they do in order to save them. Can we call it, consider as friend?
Okay, maybe, yeah, 9.
Thank you, Master. I sincerely believe I have to make the most out of this moment, because these are the times that come once in a lifetime, and I want to be on the record. Master, for you, Master Z, the old monk, and all the Buddhas, I very much want you to have friends. Friendship is wonderful. And in the immortal words of James Taylor, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I will come running. You have a friend.
Wow, how worldly. Yes, JMT. JMT.
부처님께서는 친구가 필요 없을 것 같습니다. 그래서 결론은 친구가 없다입니다.
I think Buddha don't need a friend. So in conclusion, he don't have a friend.
Buddhas don't need a friend. Okay. All right, yes, 8.
I have no idea the level of Buddha's mind, but what I learned so far, all the Buddhas are actually one Buddha. So you can't, I mean, yourself cannot be your friend. That would be strange, right?
So you cultivate and you achieve the ultimate goal, you have no more friends. So folks, you heard it tonight. Okay, according to Sarah, better enjoy your friendships now. Cherish it while you still can. Good Lord. Yes, 8.
I mean, this is really pretty funny. It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's like you work so hard.
Yeah.
You do everything you can to drop all your attachments.
Yeah.
And cultivate so hard.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get there, there's nothing.
There's nothing. No
friendship,
nothing.
And you're like, oh.
Why am I doing this again?
Why am I working so hard? I mean, come on.
You're happy by yourself.
It's so pathetic. Come on. There must be something. We just don't know what it is yet. That's how I feel. There must be something.
There must be something. Okay, some blind faith. There must be something that makes it worth it. Otherwise, what's the point? Anyone else has any brilliant ideas? Yeah? Okay, how about this? Besides Shakyamuni Buddha, there are millions and millions of Buddhas, as numerous as the grains of sand in the Ganges. Limitless and boundless numbers of Buddhas. Okay? I assure you, when you become a Buddha, you have so many friends. You're gaining so many more friends than you have today. Yes, in the back.
Master,
Unlike Master Z, who has no friends right now, he has nothing to worry about. Eventually, we have boundless friends, countless friends. Yes, continue.
Master, speaking of Master Omeng, I really cherish and appreciate back in the day that he really guided me through all of my difficult time. And sometimes cultivation was very hard. And he was there, and we have tea together, and we bond together. In that, even if I left the temple, returned to normal life, I still think of those moments. And then those moments give me motivation for me to continue up to today. And then all of the Sangha and all of the people around here actually become something for me, and that's the thing that I cannot never forget. And it's still going on until today. And I'm really grateful I have opportunity to work with Master Z, to work with even Thomas back in the day. And each day I do very cherish about this. And when I'm hearing about Master Oma talk about this kind of moment, it actually brings back the memory that I have. And I just want to say that I really appreciate him a lot for helping me up to today.
It's more than a friend, we're family. Okay, you see, you heard it all today. There's people here who have no friends, people who have lots of friends, and people who have family here. He said that's Buddhism. That's 8.
We have some comments here from Chris. Merit transference for rebirth to the Pure Land. And I quote, I wish to be reborn in the Western Pure Land with the 9 grades of lotus blossoms as my parents. When the lotuses are in full bloom, I shall see Buddha Amitabha and be enlightened to the absolute truth with non-retrogressing bodhisattvas as my companions. So yes, to me, Buddhas and bodhisattvas are friends. They're our companions.
That's right. We have they have ways of expressing or enjoying the friendships that we don't understand. But they have a lot of good friends. Lots and lots of good friends, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas. Okay? All right, it's a happy world. Any questions and comments? Have no worries. You know, it's right now you feel lonely and like people are criticizing you, especially in Korea. People are looking at you and judging you and so forth. It's only temporary. They will outgrow it and embrace you, accept you as who you are. It's more than friendship. Friendship can be superficial. Can simply be very superficial. You can go at that level or much deeper level. Yeah? Okay. Of course. That's natural. It's wisdom. All right. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. I'm glad you mentioned that because before I started cultivating and before I took refuge and joined this Dharma family, I didn't have an appreciation of what it meant to have a Dharma brother. And to me, a Dharma brother is a higher level than a friend, or the word friend can mean. You go through a lot together and you're there for each other in ways spiritual beyond just simple friendship. And I just wanted to say thank you for providing that opportunity.
I'm glad you reminded me. What I'm teaching you is the one thing, all embracing. Friends do not judge each other. They embrace each other. Yeah? So what do you think I've been teaching you? Embrace everyone as who they are. Yes, it's kind of difficult to embrace some people when you wish they would take a shower or something more often. But the point is that our cultivation is about embracing all others. Of course, you can't do that, okay? We cannot embrace everyone, but we're trying to. We're learning how to embrace everyone. It's all embracing. It's Mahayana. We don't judge. They're different. They don't believe us. They don't like us. We still embrace them. We still accept them. And for that, who cares? You call our friends, they call us as their friends or not. We still embrace them. That's a deeper kind of friendship than you think, than the worldly way of thinking about friendship. Yeah? So that's why you never have to worry about being alone, okay? Because we learn to be all embracing, learn to accept everyone as who they are. Okay? And stop judging others and accept them. Okay? That's all. And that's the attitude of a Buddha. By the way, Buddhas are all embracing. They don't judge us. They say, oh, look at this pale face again or yellow face again. Oh my God, he's bugging me to death, asking me for help and help and help and help. No, he said, oh, there he goes again. Let's help him. Make him happy. Okay? Buddhas have all embracing attitude. That's Mahayana. That's the principles of Mahayana. All right? Questions and comments? So that's a deeper kind of friendship than you think. Friendships can be very superficial. You know, you need, if you're friends, you must spend time together. No, you don't, not necessarily. Yeah. Friends don't judge each other. Yeah. Friend is always there for each other, for one another. Yeah. All those are there in our way of cultivation. Okay? And when Master Z says he has no friends, you should accept it too. He doesn't look at us as his friends. Oh. But someday he will, see? Okay, like the old monk, he says, he's my friend. Even though he doesn't think of me as his friend, and he's still my friend. Okay, let's ask the third one. Do you have any friends? Third one. You like it too much. Yeah. Do you have friends?
Yeah.
See? We're all friends, aren't we? We all care for each other in our ways. I don't see anyone who has a mean heart, vindictive, and so forth. Yes, you are some of a bit of that, but we're working on that. You know, you're still around. As long as you're still around, you still come and put up with each other. You are working on polishing. I have a boss once out there in the world. He says, the way I deal with people with a lot of interpersonal conflicts is very simple. I let them rub against each other. Eventually, the two stones will wear out and become smooth. That's our cultivation. You put up with these people, and then, and then eventually it will round out the rough edges. You don't run away. Eventually, it's going to happen. It's the law of physics. It's inevitable. Okay? We are all friends. And the friendship becomes stronger and bigger. No? Because why? Friends appreciate each other. Truly. The more wisdom you have, the more you will appreciate each other. Seriously. I'm not there yet. I don't have any friends. Don't think you as my friend, okay? Don't you dare. Okay, I will slap you. You should have the fear of God in. Because friends means that whatever is okay is not okay with me. You better become a Buddha. You better improve, okay? If not, I will slap you. Don't you dare think of me as your friend. Okay, thank you everyone. Good discussion.